Miss Lauren for $2,165 for a personal injury. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so what is your relationship to the defendant?
She's my housekeeper, my cleaning lady.
You're a housekeeper. And what do you do for a living?
I'm actually a fashion consultant.
Okay, you have your own business? You work for someone?
Yes, I have my own business.
And how long have you been in business?
I've been doing it for about 10 years now.
10 years you've had a business? Okay, and how did you meet the defendant?
She was actually referred to me from a neighbor of mine who she also works for.
Okay. You do housekeeping?
Yes.
Do you work for a company or you work for yourself?
I work for myself.
Do you have a business or online
Not professional.
presence?
No. Unfortunately, I can't afford to do like online advertising.
Right.
So
was it word of
it's
mouth?
word of mouth, yeah.
Oh, okay. Those are the best ones usually. So who told you about the defendant?
It was my neighbor had recommended me because I was looking for someone who could work on the weekends because I typically don't like to leave a key with someone during the week.
Okay.
And she had told me that Joanna was available to work on the weekends, which worked perfectly for my schedule.
Okay.
And that way I'd be able to be at home to let her in. And then once she's there, you know, I don't mind her being at home while I go off and run errands.
When you first met her, did you go over the list of the things that you wanted her to do?
Yeah, I did.
So what did you tell her when you first met? This is what I'd like to have you to do when you come.
Sure. So on our first meeting, I kind of gave her a list of the general areas of the house I like to keep clean.
Right.
I'm kind of a clean person already as it is.
But what did you tell her you wanted her to do?
So,
what were her duties?
Her duties were sweeping, mopping, dusting, primarily in the living spaces and the dining and then my personal bedroom.
And this is a house?
It's a 2-bedroom apartment, but I live there alone.
Okay.
So the other one's just a guest bedroom, and she doesn't usually go in there because it pretty much stays clean.
So how long does it take you to clean a 2-bedroom house apartment?
Your Honor, it takes me about an hour and a half.
On an hour and a half
She
to do all
usually
of
is
that
there for
cleaning?
about closer to 4 hours.
It depends on what is necessary.
What about her house? How long did it take you to clean her house?
Maybe an hour 15, because she's very clean, so I really don't have many duties there.
Okay, and you were paying her how much?
I was paying her $100 cash.
$100. That's pretty good for an hour and a half worth of work.
Very grateful.
Okay, so day one, everything's okay?
Yes. So
second time?
The second time she comes, she knocked over a vase and broke it.
Okay. Was it an expensive vase?
It wasn't, and it wasn't super sentimental.
I offered to pay for it, of course. I really
She
did.
did.
What'd you tell her?
I told her it was fine and that it was a mistake, but please to be a little bit more careful when she was in my home.
Okay, so then was there something that happened the third time?
Yes, and
So
that's
the third time, so
reason.
we're in 6 weeks together now?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So the third time is the reason why we're here today.
Okay.
So she comes, you know, her regular schedule. I had left to go run my errands.
Okay.
While I was out, I had texted her to ask if she could run my dishwasher because I needed all of my dishware clean for a dinner party I was hosting that evening.
Okay, so had you ever run her dishwasher before?
No, ma'am, I haven't. No.
Okay, had you ever shown her how to run a dishwasher?
No.
Do you know how to run a dishwasher?
Basically, I don't have one at my home.
Right. What about some of your other clients?
Yeah, but I usually, if they have dishes, I do them by hand.
Okay, so you are not used to running a dishwasher?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you never talked to her about doing dishes and running a dishwasher?
I had
like
never
that?
specifically shown her how to use my dishwasher,
Right.
but
or
it is,
asked her if she knew how to run a dishwasher?
prior to this time, no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I just asked her if she could do it. She said yes.
Right. You
So-
said, can you start the dishwasher? Is that what happened?
Yes,
And you
yes.
told her yes?
Yes, I did.
So then she calls back and says, what, I can't find detergent?
She's having trouble finding the dishwashing detergent pods. I use like the
Right.
little pods.
Right.
And so I told her that I have.
Well, you know, they have a couple of different types of pods. Some of them you just throw the whole thing in and you don't take the paper off. A lot of people didn't know that, right?
I didn't even know they had ones with paper.
Oh, yeah. Most of them with paper. And guess what? Then they have liquid. In a container, you could just
For the
pour it in.
dishwasher?
For the dishwasher. See, here's an education right here.
Right.
So just the way the demeanor of the cleaning lady, you could tell that she's quite old school. The first point when she said that she didn't understand how to use social media, she felt social media was so expensive to promote her business. That's the lady that's old school, because people actually use social media without paying any money and promoting their business and doing their business stuff. You know, all they need to do is just consistently put out videos and find a way to push it to their own friends that are active on social media. And that's how it spreads. You don't need to spend so much money running advertising. to actually use social media. So that is an indication that this lady is quite old school. And now let's study the client in this case, which is this other lady, the plaintiff in the case. The plaintiff is very modern, very new school, very classy, and very detailed, meticulous type of lady. And of course, we assume that she has the modern microwave, modern dishwasher, and all those things. And for a lady that is this old, there are some of these accessories, some of these electronic devices that this woman will not know how to use. But also from her demeanor, you could see also that this cleaning lady is a type of lady that would like to impress a client as much as possible, especially a high-paying client like the plaintiff in this case. So because she wants to impress, the sense of asking some questions and just trying to prove herself will be there. And considering the fact that she broke a flower vase prior, she will want to impress this plaintiff and try to, pull her weight in the house and clean properly. And in that case, there are some questions she might feel not obligated to ask, like, how do I use this dishwasher? Like, how do I operate it? She asked for the detergents, but we don't know what else she asked for. And I'm sure the fact that she was not conversant with this particular electronic was what led to the whole mishap and everything that happened here. But everything I just said now is just based on my own analysis and my own assumption. Now let's see what happened in this case.
I didn't realize she knew so little about washing
A lot of
dishwashers.
people don't use the dishwasher. You'd be surprised. She couldn't find the dishwasher.
Right. So
liquid, detergent,
the pods.
And what kind of pods were these pods?
I actually have some
Let me see
here
the
for
pods.
you.
Well, those look like laundry pods.
Well, that is the issue.
I've never seen these.
One of those-
I don't wash
one of
dishes.
those
I know how to use
is a laundry
dishwasher.
pod.
Yeah, I've never seen these.
And one of them is a detergent for dishwashers.
Okay, which is which?
So the smaller one with the white powder is for the dishwasher, and the large one is for your washing machine for clothing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So when you were talking to her, did you tell her it's the white one with the green?
No,
What'd you tell her?
All I told her was to look in the pantry and that they were in a jar.
Right. So what did you do, ma'am?
So yeah, she told me that that the pods were in the pantry.
Right.
So after I found they weren't under the sink.
Right.
I texted her. I said, "Where are they?" Basically, and she said they're in the pantry in a jar.
Right.
I said, "Okay, well," and I went in there. I grabbed one of the.
Did you see a jar in the pantry?
I did. There was 2 jars. There
Okay.
was one that was empty and one that had pods in it.
Okay.
So I grabbed one of the pods out of that jar
And threw it in the
And threw it in the dishwasher.
Okay.
Grabbed my money for the day and went home.
Okay.
So
So I guess it was the wrong pod.
It was the wrong pod. And
But was there a jar that had the pods for the dishwasher?
Your Honor, if I may present some evidence to you.
Let me see what you got.
Your Honor, these jars weren't even labeled. They don't have
Right.
anything on there
Right.
distinguishing what they are or.
As you
Okay.
can see on that
No,
first
I
photo.
can't see nothing. You want to tell me what I'm looking at
Sure.
here.
So,
Okay, now what is this here?
So those are the 2 jars where one is usually full of the dishwasher detergent pods.
And this one
unfortunately,
here?
right now it's empty, and the other one
Okay,
is
but what
full.
you told her is
Yes.
to go in and look in a jar.
Correct.
Right? And that
Yes.
jar, it turns out, was empty.
Yes.
Okay.
You are correct. However, if you look at the shelf directly
Yeah, I know that, but you
above-
didn't direct her like that,
Right.
okay? This is somebody that doesn't even do dishes in the dishwasher. You said there's a jar with some pods. And guess
Yes.
what? There was a jar with some pods.
There was.
All right, so then what happened?
So she took the laundry detergent pods.
Yeah, she told me that already. Tell me
And
what
she-
was the result of that.
So what happened is I come back several hours later and I see that my dishwasher is overflowing with suds and the entire floor is covered in water and puddles and soap. And
Right.
so I walk over to figure out what is going on, how I can stop this machine from overflowing.
Right.
And I slip and I fall because it's a soapy mess. So I fall and dislocate my elbow. Luckily, I was able to crawl over to my phone, call a friend. She comes, picks me up, takes me to the emergency room.
Right.
I get to the hospital, they tell me I have a dislocated elbow and it's going to take at least 3 months of physical therapy and rehabilitation for me to get my elbow into normal condition again. So
You
at this
have
point,
insurance?
I do.
Uh-huh.
So
What's
the
your
invoice,
deductible?
The listed invoice there, that's my deductible. So that's after insurance already covered the majority, because my emergency room visit was only $250.
Hold on a second. Yes, ma'am.
I'm really confused why she thinks that it's my fault that she walked into a big
we
puddle of
haven't
water.
even gotten there because I'm just as confused about it. And why
I'm
somebody
really
would sue
confused.
a housekeeper in court, I don't know. Where is this?
It's only $250.
Hold on a second. Yes, ma'am.
I'm really confused why she thinks that it's my fault that she walked into a big
we
puddle of
haven't
water.
even gotten there because I'm just as confused about it. And why
I'm
somebody
really
would sue
confused.
a housekeeper in court, I don't know. Where is this lady gonna get $2,165? You had insurance. Did you have homeowners insurance too?
I don't own the home I'm renting.
Okay, but you had health insurance, and you're telling me that your deductible, after the deductible, there was still $2,165 in bills?
Yes, because of the 3 months of physical therapy. So even after what insurance covers, it was $75 per session, and I had to go twice a week for 3 months.
Right.
So that adds up per session, and I had to go twice a week for 3 months.
Right.
So that adds up.
To me, it was not very clear what instructions you gave her. You should have been a lot more clear. Then you were expecting the use of common sense. And everybody doesn't use common sense.
It's not even just about common sense in this case, because there was no need to apply common sense. The common sense was to look at the next jar that had pods in it and take one from there and use. That was common sense in this case. You don't expect somebody to automatically become a robot and look up to see a jar filled with a dishwashing detergent when the person doesn't even know what a dishwashing detergent looks like in this particular instance. This is a cleaning lady that is so old school and is used to old methods. You're telling her about pods. She looks down, sees an empty jar, sees another jar filled with pods, and takes one from it. You're expecting her to look up and suddenly see detergents and know that, oh, this is for dishes and this is for laundry. It wouldn't work that way. You know, she did the logical thing that every human being in her situation would have done, which is take the pod from the next jar. First of all, the pods were not labeled. Then secondly, there was no direction stating that if you don't see any pods for the dishwasher, look up and get from the sachet up above the shelf. There was nothing stating that. You know, it's annoying when clients like this that are so classy, so meticulous, and so detailed with how they do their things try to just lay blame on somebody when their directions were not very explicit and clear. We see a lot of bosses do this to their employees in the office. And in this case, this particular boss is doing the same thing to this cleaning lady and blaming her for a dislocated elbow when it was not even her fault in the first place. Her directions were not explicitly clear, and that's why this lady just went with what she thought was right at that particular time.
I mean,
I see that now.
I don't know. She said to go in and it's in the jar. Well, hey, they're pots. I do not wash dishes. I got 2 houses. In both of them, there's a dishwasher. I have never seen those pots you have there. Never. And if you had said they made little squishy pots, I would have said, really, they do? I didn't know they made those.
Your Honor.
And even the picture you showed here of this this product, I've used this product, but not with pots.
Yes.
So when you're telling somebody that doesn't do dishes in a dishwasher, go into the room, there's a jar in there, it's got pods. What did she do? Did you go into the room?
I did.
Was there a jar in there?
There was a jar, yes.
What, did they have pods in it?
It did, yes.
Did you take those pods and throw one in the dishwasher?
I took one and put
Your
it
Honor,
in
I don't
there.
even know how she fit it into the dishwasher.
She did exactly what you told her to do. You don't have to put those in the little...
You do.
No,
These
you
go
don't.
into the dispenser. This would not even
excuse me,
fit.
I don't wash dishes. If you read the instructions for your dishwasher, you can really just throw those in the bottom of the dishwasher. You do not have to put them in that little box and close it. You don't. It still
That's
works.
not what she did,
I'm
though.
ready to rule.
Okay.
Judging for the defendant. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
The plaintiff is one entitled client that is so into her money that expects everybody to do things the way she thinks. You know, she just expects that things should be done the way she thinks. And that's not what happens. People think the way they think. People's thoughts are actually a product of the environment and a product of what they've been exposed to. You don't expect a cleaning lady to suddenly become such a well-exposed and a well-meticulous lady because you are meticulous. You know, you hold her to a certain standard, but if you don't make your directions and your instructions very clear, Sometimes mistakes like this are bound to happen. And the fact that she sued her to court already reflects the kind of woman and the kind of boss this lady is. And these are the kind of people that are very, very difficult to work with. But tell me what you think about this case. I think it's unfair for the cleaning lady, and I think it serves this lady, this plaintiff, rights. This Janet Elma or whatever her name is. It serves her rights that she didn't get any money for this whole thing. But tell me what you think about this though. I'll go by the name East Coast Prince. This is East Coast Talks, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.